got Miss Joy Elaine coming on here in just a bit, talking about how to enjoy the journey to where we're headed. So get excited. Remember that we're here all day long, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. PST, rocking it out, and we're having a lot of fun, definitely. So get excited, buckle up, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, because we're diving in. So I'm going to do some quick announcements. If you're an entrepreneur, a high achiever, you are committed to getting your message out to the world in a bigger way, and you know that there's a platform that you want to develop, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a show, live stream, YouTube, whatever, but you know that you have a bigger message to get out to the world, let me know. Send me a message. I love working with people like you who want to change the world, who want to make this planet a better place and impact and uplift everyone around us. So we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Send me a message, chris@beyourgps.com, or find me on Facebook, facebook.com/th3burns, and let me know you want to get your message out to the world. I love helping people do it on my podcast. I love helping people start their own podcast and create their own platform to impact the world. Looking forward to talking to you. Next up is the iTunes review of the week. And this week it's by Becca Joyce. And here's what Becca Joyce has to say. This podcast is fire. Chris Burns, the host, always brings the energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. His passion for life and becoming your greatest possible self is contagious. He also brings on amazing guests from all different industries, so you will always learn something new and different each episode. Highly, highly recommend listening. Thank you so much, Becca. I appreciate you. And if you want to give us a review, give us feedback, let us know what you're loving about the show, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes, and you can find us there or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store and give us a review like that. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. Makes a huge, huge difference for us and the feedback and continuing the journey. Subscribe, stay tuned, because we got big things coming for you, okay? So, like I said, Miss Joy Elaine is about to come on and really rock the house. Before that, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, be ready to take notes, be ready to contemplate on these ideas, because they are truly out of this world. You might have to stretch your imagination even, and your capacity to see these things that Joy is talking about, because it is an incredible conversation that we're going to be bringing to you. And just know that this is all, perspective. So take it or leave it. This is Joy's perspective. It might be your perspective as well. If it resonates with you, great. Own it, use it, thrive with it. If it doesn't, that's great too. Make sure you find the message that resonates with you. And just know that Burn Up Coaching and Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self, we don't endorse people in their messages. We are just a platform to help them get their message out. So let's do this interview. I'm going to introduce Joy, and we're going to have an epic show. So Joy Elaine, the woman of the hour, is an author, speaker, and one of the foremost experts in the world on the Ashtar Command, as well as mythical creatures that are real. Joy has her fingers on the pulse of the evolving Earth and has a profound understanding of the nature of the 47 universes and many of the races that inhabit them. Joy is a master practitioner of SVH, Serenity Vibration Healing, and credits this energy modality with being instrumental in assisting her to bring forth the information in the Joy Chronicles. And we are blessed to have her here with us today. Joy, are you ready to rock the house, superstar?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Awesome.
With these flames behind you, it's very inspiring. Flames shooting up from
yes, the fiery phoenix is behind me, and we are absolutely on fire, sharing great information, inspiring people today. So Joy, thanks for being here today to share your wisdom and what you've created. In our pre-interview call, I had a blast. I just had a blast talking to you and learning about you and what you've created and all these gifts that you have and are bringing to the world, and being in the channel, being the communicator, the medium, so to speak, the interconnector between two worlds, and just giving this information out. It's inspiring. It's very, very cool. So I love what you're doing, and I'm excited to dive into it today. So we're going to start off with this theme of who is your true self? So Joy, how would you respond to that question, or how do you see that? How do you perceive that question or that philosophy of who is your true self?
True self. Well, we're all here to remember that.
Yeah.
We're all here to remember that we're masters. And we incarnated at this time because this is the happening time. This is the most exciting time in the entire evolution of Earth because of how fast we're evolving and where we're going. So we're masters. We're remembering. We're evolving to the abilities of masters that lived in non-dual worlds. You know that we're going to talk about non-dual later in this program because that's a really important concept of the possibilities. Now, some people, like you said, some people are not ready to hear this, but many people are because we are now in an age of expansion. All right. Did I answer your question as much as you wanted me to about our true nature, or can I move on, or should I dwell on that some more?
No, that's great. That's great. I felt that was a great response. So we're going to dive into next. Who is Joy? Who are you, and what do your clients come to you for? Tell us a little bit more about your mission here on Earth and the books that you've written. Just give us a little bit more of an overview of who you are and what you stand for.
Well, in my 40s, my middle 40s, I went to a seminar and I was sitting at this table. We were supposed to list goals in different areas of our life, like our business goals, our personal goals, our family goals, our spiritual goals. I looked at that last one and I thought, wow, I don't have a thing I can put there. I looked around the table, everybody else was just happily writing, and I'm thinking, boy, this is a wake-up call. I need to do something about that. So I rebelled against religion that didn't seem to have the answers for me. I was raised very religiously, and I honor those people that are on that path because all roads lead to the same place. All right. I just wasn't enjoying the methods that road was taking me on. So I looked for other answers in different modalities, different angelic healing, shamanism, Akashic record reading, past life regression, you name it, I was doing it. I was experiencing it. And then I came across Serenity Vibration Healing, SVH for short, in 2003. And it had such a profound impact on me, both physically and mentally, that I thought, this is for me. This is what I want to stick with and really work with. So I spent several years working on myself with it because, we all have issues. We have issues, and I didn't want to keep repeating the same patterns that I'd been repeating with relationships I'd been in, which were not honoring relationships. So when I finally felt like I was getting enough clarity, I was feeling more enlightened, I was starting to channel, I thought, this could really help others. I'm an Aquarian, so we're all about humanity, helping humanity. And so I started doing work to assist the Earth. And the thing is, anything that's put in place for Earth has to be approved by galactic councils of light. Earth is being overseen by at least 8 that I know of, Andromeda and Ascension Earth Council being the main one. So you can't just start saying, hey, I'm going to have this, we're going to have this. It's got to be voted on, it's got to be approved. But the cool thing is, since we live here on Earth, we do get to vote, right? Yeah. The other worlds that are watching us, and by all means, we are the center of attention for almost all the universes because of what's happening here. The other worlds that are watching us can support us or not support us, but they don't get to vote what happens here. We get to choose. And that's what I'm excited to bring forward today in our talk about how people can get involved in that in a way that uplifts them as well as the Earth.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. And we're going to have a blast in that. And I think it's just knowing that there's something bigger at work here and being guided by those these forces that we've been talking about, for millennia, and mythical creatures and, and I know you and I were talking about like the Egyptian gods and the Greek gods, and like how these are just the external universes and forces or beings who come to guide us, right? And to give us direction. So I think that's super powerful how you recognized you had the spiritual wake-up call. You started seeking and searching, because I think that's a big part of finding ourselves and our purpose is being willing to seek and to look around. So how did you open yourself up to hear this wisdom and create this divine, unique connection that not many people get?
It's heart consciousness. Because the heart has all the answers, right? And with the clearing work that I did with Serenity, like releasing my karma, clearing all curses, clearing genetic programming, clearing belief systems that didn't serve me, that helped them to open up your abilities of telepathy and those abilities that are non-dual that we will all evolve into, whether we undertake any personal expansion tools or not. I think I want to be on the fast track. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be out there chugging away and leading the way and just enjoying all the good stuff as soon as possible. So
Yes.
It's been a compulsion of mine to just keep working and exploring and channeling and opening myself up to my guides. Everybody has lots of guides, not just one, guardian angel, because of the time that we live in, because of the possibilities that are open to us. Okay. So the old paradigm, which is many people are willing to release that. The old paradigm is you're born, you struggle, you die. You might have a little bit of fun here and there, okay? That's old dimension. That's third dimension thinking. And by the way, third dimension is no longer part of our reality. That left in 2009 because of choices by people like me, by people like you, by the people that are listening to our program, being more loving, just being more conscious of their choices in their life, reaching for the higher choice, the better choice, the more loving choice. These lower dimensions are going to gradually drift away. We lost fourth dimension in 2015. So people go, okay, well, what does that mean? Dimensions is just like a vibratory field of energy. And the third dimension was struggle for survival, fight for survival, fight for the fittest survive. Get the others before they get you. Now, some people, unfortunately, this just description, some people are still kind of holding on to that. But since it's gone, since that dimension is actually physically gone from Earth's reality, it's much, much easier to let those old beliefs go and to move into this more of the possibilities of what we're going to be talking about, the non-dual possibilities of instant manifestation. Let me say that.
Let's talk about that. How does leaving behind, evolving beyond third and fourth dimension, open us up to those instant manifestation possibilities?
Okay. So let me first say, where are we now then physically? All right, Earth and everything on her exists physically in the fifth or sixth dimension or a blend of the two. Okay, that's where we all are now. I don't think anybody's in seventh dimension physically, but people are there energetically. And eighth dimension is the first non-dual dimension for Earth. That is where, once you're in eighth dimension, it's all good. There's none of the duality that we've always experienced. Earth is a dual world. That means there's good, there's bad, there's struggle, there's resistance, there's ease, there's grace, there's love, there's hate. In non-duality, there's instant manifestation. Whatever you choose, instantly it's there or you are it. All right. There's perpetually regenerating bodies. That means there's no degeneration of a body. Let me clarify that by saying that Tonos, the Ashtar commander that I met when I stepped on board his ship in the first book. By the way, we're going to do that today. We're going to step on the Ashtar Command spaceship. He's gorgeous. He looks like he's about 30, and he's over 25 million years old. Okay? 25 million. And he's the youngest. He's the youngest in the Ashtar Command. Of all the 86 million ships that were above Earth on the ninth and 10th dimension in April of 2014, when I stepped aboard his ship, he was the youngest. So imagine, our thinking about age is totally warped. Really. I mean...
Well, it's like I think there's the we might hear that back in so to speak, when Adam and Eve were existing, people used to live for hundreds and thousands of years, and then over time we bought into the paradigm that we only live less than 100.
And we're going to die. Yes.
Yeah.
I just recently met a man at the Joy Council. His name was Ungara. He's been hiding in the rainforest, probably in the Amazon, for over 120,000 years, helping us.
Damn.
So, those people that we look at on TV and we see these, they look like really primitive. He's about as tall as a 9-year-old, naked when he came to the council. And, he had telepathy. He came from a non-dual world to help us. And that's what many of the indigenous people did. The Native Americans, the Aborigines, the Inuit, A lot of the African tribes that are hiding in the rainforest still, they came here when 100,000 years ago or so, or even more, to help us. And so that was a big discovery for me. I talk about that a lot in my sixth book, Return of the Star Tribes.
So tell us a little bit more about the sequencing of your books and how that has evolved.
Okay, there's 6 of them at this point that are self-published. There's going to be 10 altogether in the series. The first book, I stepped aboard the Ashtar Command spaceship. I learned such fascinating things from Tonas that I thought, my God, I've got to tell people. I mean, now, some of my closest, my sons, like, they look at me and they go, Mom, when I see a dragon, I'll be 100% in your camp. You know, we really hope it's true, Mom. Other people said, oh, you better not tell anybody that, you know, nobody's going to believe you. And I understand that some people are not there, but those people that are really tapped in, turned on, tuned in, they're like, oh, wow. I mean, when I started connecting with dragons and fairies, I realized that deep in my heart, I always hoped that would be possible.
It's almost, I was talking to someone last week, and the energy of I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was possible. I knew that was always there all along. I knew it. You know, it's like the deep inner knowing. That is the oneness. That is the faith. That is just knowingness.
Yes, and that was so exciting to me to remember and reunite with a fairy that I knew when I was a little girl. That at the end of the first book, called Path of Sweetness. I meet, let me clarify that the beings that I'm working with, I guess you could call them ET or aliens or galactics, they are ascended masters or galactic masters of the highest order. Okay. They don't have any hatred. They don't have an agenda. They only want to help. All right. They really can't just say, well, you know, it's this and this and this and this and this, you know, you got to discover it. You got to ask for it. You got to, you know, ask enough questions that we have enough approval to be able to tell you some things. Because, you know, that's the main rule. You can't advance a species beyond their readiness. All right. We got free will here. We get to choose. All right. So how do we choose? Well, that's really exciting because in the Joy Chronicles, in the back of each book, there's a paragraph that explains how you can take part in the transmissions that we do. All right. First book, they're done from a spaceship. Like I said, we're going to visit that in a little bit. Second book, we develop a council in the inner earth and also on the 10th dimension of the moon. And on that council are people like JFK, the ascended version of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, not the guy that would have any agendas or karma or anything like that. Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, Abraham Lincoln, a lot of the Native Americans, Hiawatha, Osiris, Isis, Hathor, Thoth, you know, the Egyptian, quote, gods that I mentioned. The Ashtar Command, represented by Commander Ashtar himself. Laponi, the genie that I met in the first book. So these people, they are brainstorming along with millions of other people from non-dual worlds to help us. So when you're guided to energetically just step aboard the command ship or just step aboard on the Joy Council in the earth, you can sit at the table, we got a chair reserved for you, and say, hey, here's what I really hope for Earth. Here's the vision I have of peace, of pristine nature, of love, of, you know, put your vote in because your vote counts.
Yeah. So there's a process that people can join, right. And would you say it's a channeling, like a group channeling, collective channeling to communicate with that, or how does that work?
You can just do it individually. No matter how many people go, there's always going to be a space for you at the table in the book too. The other thing is, even if you choose not to do any of that, you're just, I just want to read the books, okay? That's fine, because doing just that uplifts collective consciousness. When you start getting the ideas that Earth is important, that there are people that want to help us and that we can connect with them, that there really are genies and dragons and fairies that are living a bit off of our dimension and they're anxious to support us. When you start realizing that possibility, just putting that thought out like, oh, I remember that time when I was little, I did kind of see a fairy. Putting those thoughts out in collective consciousness, that uplifts everybody. So even just reading them is powerful and fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. We have fun. We have some drama. I mean, not so much in the first two books, but inevitably, as it comes up in duality, there's a bad guy that pops his head in book 4 and really just scared the you-know-what out of me. But luckily, we're here. We're still here. So, yeah. So how do you have fun? Because that was what we were talking about. We talked about where we are, 5th and 6th dimension, where we're going, 8th dimension, non-duality. How do we have fun along the way? All right. Reading the books. I got great information on my blog site. We're going to do a couple of them. I'm going to guide you into manifesting ideal scenarios for your life using SVH, Serenity Vibration Healing. I'm going to guide you to step onto the bridge into non-duality, bridge into those higher dimensions that we've been talking about, and visiting his spaceship. So the blog, I got some great YouTube things on world missions that you can take part in to assist the Earth. They're only 5 or 6 minutes long on YouTube. Some fun videos, Love and Sex at the Joy Council is one of them. Ashtar Command versus Star Trek was another one. So just check out my website, which is joyelaine.com. Jot that down with your pencil. And so would you like to do the bridge into non-duality? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, that's perfect. Take us there.
All right. So you're going to picture a bridge. It can be a great big bridge like the Golden Gate Bridge, or it can be a little wooden bridge, or I'm visualizing a little concrete bridge that I used to travel over when I was a kid. It's got a little creek running through it called Hacker Creek. And I'm visualizing that bridge. So your bridge is individual to you. So I say if you're driving a car, you can't do it right now because I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and see your bridge. Okay? Now I'm visualizing mine. And so what is the value of stepping onto a bridge into non-duality? Well, let me ask, do any of you have any kind of situations going on in your life where you just really want to help the person and you've tried to help the person and you've just gotten yourself all messed up in what they're doing? All right. Has that ever happened to you? Me, big time. Okay. Enabler, I think you could say. So when that's happening around you, the tendency is want to dive into the troubled waters and just try to rescue the person. You usually end up both just swallowing a lot of water and maybe really struggling to get to the shore, maybe not even making to the shore. So the value of staying on your bridge is that it helps you to feel loving. It's a bridge into non-duality, into those higher dimensions where you realize you are just love. You feel that love. It's so blissful. It's so powerful. It's incredible. I've experienced it recently, and it took me 2 hours to get out of bed in the morning because I was just like, it was so wonderful. Okay. So when you're on that bridge, you're just sending out love. First of all, you're loving yourself. All right. That's a great blog article I have with some clearing about how to do that, to release blocks to loving yourself, because that's where it starts. And you're dancing on your bridge, and that uplifts everyone. That is the way for you to stay in your own power, in your own safety, but also in your power, and just uplift everyone around you. So you dance on your bridge. You can say, hey, tonight when I'm going to bed, I'm going to sleep on my bridge. I'm going to bring my sleeping pack and just hang out there.
And so basically the objective is to give attention to the fact that there is a bridge and to raise our vibration, whatever that might be, through dancing, smiling, singing, laughing, whatever brings us alive. And the bridge, and then the bridge connects our world currently to a higher dimension, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. And it's very simple to do that. It's just to remember to do it. It's just remembering that, hey, I'm in this situation. What do I do? Oh, I got that bridge. Just step on it. So just take a moment to feel the energy. Close your eyes. Take about 5 seconds. Just take your first step. See your bridge. Take a deep breath and just walk up 2 or 3 steps onto it. Now, those of you that are feelers might feel that, hey, this feels a little bit different. This feels a little calmer. Take a few more steps and you look down and you can see there might be some turmoil. The stream might be pretty calm right now, flowing underneath your bridge. You're not experiencing much turmoil in your life. But if you remember back to the past, or maybe you're anticipating some turmoil, you can see the water is a little choppy. Stay on your bridge. Open your heart. Connect with your heart. Connect with the creator, higher self, God, goddess, whoever you want to name the creator. And your guide's going to say, just help me to stay on my bridge. Help me to stay focused on loving myself and loving everything that's happening. All right. Take a deep breath and dance a few steps, do a little jig, maybe click your heels. Hear your favorite tune, your pop music or classical, your favorite overture. Thumb, you got a marching band on your bridge and you're marching up higher into the higher dimensions. Whatever is fun, have some fun with it. And take even just 5 seconds will help you move into more clarity in your daily life. Okay? Yeah. All right. Now that's an easy experience, and it's very powerful. Yet, and the master told me this is a powerful experience to do. The other one is this, it's called the golden ticket to manifesting ideal scenarios. All right, this is what I take to expos with me, hand them out. It's going to be backwards here, but it does say the ideal scenario at the top. Wow. And one of my blog articles has a golden ticket on it. So if you don't quite get it today and you want to, refer a friend to it, it's on my website under my blog. Golden ticket. And it's going to use some SVH, Serenity Vibration Healing clearing, to help you manifest your ideal scenarios. So I'm going to guide you in activating the clearing words right now. Okay. I should explain. SVH works with the creator and your soul and your higher consciousness. Not me, not Joy Elaine. Joy Elaine is not in there messing with your stuff, your force field or anything. I'm just putting stuff in place, and you get to choose what you're selecting. Okay. The creator is the one that puts the work in place, not Joy Elaine. All right. And the cool thing is that once you've activated these clearing words, they will work for you like the ever-ready bunny. They just keep sweeping through your life, clearing away the blocks to what you want to manifest. Non-stop, just keeps working, clearing another layer of programming, another layer of blocks, okay? So to activate these two clearing words, the words are knowing, and the other one is I am that. So close your eyes and imagine a screen before you. It's a TV screen, a computer screen, whatever screen you like. All right. Now you've got your eyes closed, but a part of you, your higher self, can see these clearing words that I'm putting on the screen. I'm putting knowing and the phrase I am that. All right. Now all you do is you ask silently, Creator, is it okay for you to activate these words for me? You'll get some kind of affirmative. You'll get a sense or a knowing. And when you get your affirmative, God never says no to you. You just think or say yes. Yes. All right. Now you've got those words activated. You can listen again if you want. If you didn't get your answer, most people get an answer pretty quickly. Or you can go through again on my website. So you don't have to do that ever again. That screen viewing procedure is done. Now let's do the ideal scenario. And I took the liberty of making one that if you like, you can say, I want that one too. All right. Because I don't want to have a minute of silence on radio. I heard that's not a good thing to just stay closed for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to thank yourself, all of you that are listening, thank the word knowing. Okay. Now here's the ideal scenario that I'm going to put in place for you, and if you can choose it if you want. Knowing the ideal scenario for experiencing radiant health and vitality, attracting abundance in all forms into my life, attracting honoring relationships, following my heart, loving myself completely, letting go of the past and living in the present and enjoying it. All right. Now, if you like that, you can say, I want that too. If you want to add a couple of it. Now, here's another one. We're going to do another one because we're going to take these to the spaceship, okay? For Earth, I see an ideal scenario for a world at peace. A world where we honor the diversity and uniqueness of all beings. A world where people care for and love the Earth and all the creatures on her. And a world where each and every one of us prospers. Now, if you like those, you just claim it by thinking or saying, I am that. If you want to do this again and again and again, I encourage you to do that because you can just really start powerfully boosting everything that you want, everything that you choose to come into your life. We're moving into that instant manifestation more and more and more and more every day. You might even notice that, you think about you wanting something and, oh, there it is already. All right. So the more that you use this golden ticket, you just think, knowing, I'm choosing the ideal scenario for fill in the blank, and then you claim it by I am that. You got that process? Is that clear to you?
Yep, makes sense.
All right. So would you like to visit the spaceship now?
Let's do it.
Okay. We're gonna time travel. We're gonna move back to April 4th, 2014. See, I stepped aboard the command ship Inishimura, which means the night sky. I stepped aboard it in February of 2014. Started talking with Tonas, the Ashtar Commander. Found so much fascinating stuff that I had to start writing books. And then we started working together on April 4th. That's the first time we actually sent a transmission from Inishimura. Okay? So we're going to go there, and it's going to be really simple. Archangel Michael is going to take your hand and step with us, all right? So we're going to travel in the past. So you're going to close your eyes again, all right? And feel or see or pretend to see that Archangel Michael is standing right by your side. He's got his hand out. Reach out and take it. You're going to take a couple steps. You're going to turn. And you're stepping through a doorway, and when you do, you will be on the command deck of the spaceship Inishimura. All right? You're already there. It's instant. We're moving with our energy bodies. You can do this again just before you go to bed. Say, hey, I'd like to remember what happens when I wake up. But for today, we're in this big room, and it's empty, really. I asked Tonas, recently, well, isn't there any furniture? I mean, what about the Star Trek? And so he laughed and he said, well, furniture would just get in the way. If we want a piece of furniture, we can just manifest it. All right. So right now you're just in a big empty room, but you can see ahead of you that there's a huge wall of windows. These windows go from the floor to the ceiling of the room. And while you're here, you're on the 10th dimension. So just take a breath of this kind of rarefied air and feel how easy it is. There's no resistance on this dimension. Tonas told me that he'd never even fallen and scraped his knee as a little boy. Never had any kind of injury, never had anything that hurt him or that inhibited him in any way. So I want you to walk towards us. We're standing in front of the windows. Let me describe him. Tall, dark, handsome, 6 foot tall, wavy, black, shoulder-length hair. I was a goner as soon as I saw that. A black cape that has gold trim on it, black loose-fitting trousers, black long-sleeve shirt. Black on black on black on black, in other words, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm standing there, and I'm looking about like 23. I have long golden hair. And I'm wearing a green long gown. My feet are bare. I always come barefooted at first there. And he likes to place a little flower between my big toes. So I got flowers down there if you want to just tune in. Now, I'm describing this, and some of you are actually seeing it. Many of you are maybe just feeling it. Or you don't see a blessed thing, but somehow you kind of feel that something's happening, okay? So we're standing there, and we've got this golden globe of energy in front of us. Now, if you move up really close to us, you can look out the windows and see Earth down below us. See that glorious world where you currently exist in this time space also. We're in 2014, and you're in 2014, but of course you're also physically here in 2019. So you're going to be giving yourself these gifts in the past, over 5 years ago. So you've got you've brought with you your ideal scenario. If you didn't, just say, hey, I want my ideal scenario with me, all right? And it's right there in your hands. You got a little golden glowing ball of energy in your hands also. I want you to just raise it up and blow it to our golden energy balls that's between Tonas and me. So you're adding your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes for your life and for the earth into the transmission that we are going to send out. Now, if you want to add another thought really quick, oh gosh, please, help so-and-so, or please help me to whatever, just take a few seconds, throw that in too. We're asking God to always put it in the highest order for the good of all. All right, now open your hearts and just send your love into this transmission, because we're going to send love to you in the past and to the earth. Feel your heart chakra opening wide. Take a nice deep breath and just blow the transmission with us to the earth. It's a little bit of language of light. You don't have to figure out what it meant. It just is heart talk. Now, I want you to just kind of feel the energy here. This is what we are evolving to. This ability to move instantly from one place to another. This ability of telepathy. This ability of no more disease, no more aging. This is 10th dimension. And we experience this also on the 8th dimension of Earth. It's just yummy. It's just like, this is my destiny. I knew this was possible all along, and thank goodness it really is true. We're going to go to this position. We're going to go to this, move to this energy. All right. So send your gratitude for that possibility, those possibilities in the future. Send your gratitude to Earth too. Just see the Earth turning below us, and you're just sending this warm blanket of your love and your wishes, and just over the whole Earth. You're focusing only on the positive things you're choosing for Earth, only on the good things, leaving all the negative talk behind. None of that goes to the Earth. It's all just positive, because that's what empowers the change for the good. All right, you can open your eyes if you want, or you can walk around a little bit. Tonis and I are bowing to you, thanking you for your participation in this work. Welcoming you back here to this position anytime you want to come back, and to any of the other positions in any of the books. They're all dated, so you'll know the date that you can go. The descriptions of it, again, in the back of the book, how to do this. If you forget that, just say, hey, Michael, I want to go there. Just take my hand and take me there, and you'll be there. All right? So Michael's still with us. He always goes with us on a journey. So you're going to reach out, take his hand, turn around, take a couple of steps, move back through that golden doorway, and you'll be right back to your position here where you are on Earth in this time frame. All right, now take a deep breath. I
love it.
Some people will say, oh, wow, I could really feel that, or I could see that. And other people go, oh, I didn't really see anything. But you just got to, somehow you just move into trust.
Yeah.
That, your higher self is with you, God's with you, the angels are with you, and you just did it. All right. Yeah. So have you got any questions so far about what's happened?
Well, this is great. I love it, and I felt myself sending the energy to Earth. And Paul McFarland, who's in the audience, he said, I joined just when she said spaceship. I'm there. So he went with us there, and it was beautiful, just to send that love. And I could feel, it's almost like I could feel, because I was back in 2014 sending the love, I could feel that support and protection and guidance with me all along those years. And there was also a significant event that happened to me about 5 years ago that was really dark and challenging. And, I just, the coordination of it is just phenomenal. And I just see everything lining up. It's awesome.
That's what's so powerful about Serenity Vibration Healing, is that the work doesn't just work on you in this now moment. It moves back to the ideal position, usually at your conception, and rolls through your entire life. And there's a mechanism in it that just keeps empowering your God self, just keeps sweeping and sweeping and sweeping and releasing the blocks of what you're choosing. So using that golden ticket, I use it for little things even. Like this morning I said, knowing ideal scenario, parking space at Runcible Spoon. I'm that. And then I spent quite some time on preparing for this show by saying, knowing ideal scenario for, speaking from my heart, speaking my truth, Chris, having fun, the conversation flowing, saying all the things I needed to say. I am that.
Yeah.
You know, if you get really good at it, you'll just find your life just is miraculous anyway, but it comes even more so.
Mm.
So I do have a message from Gia.
Okay.
Today's the equinox, very powerful day. Kudos to you for having this on the equinox.
Yes.
Great. So I asked her yesterday, and she's one of the masters. She actually chose to manifest in a body at this party we have at the end of the first book, Path of Sweetness. About 30, 40, 50,000 people came. Tonos had to keep making the spaceship bigger and bigger and bigger with his mind, about 5 times bigger. It was a celebration of Earth, of all things Earth. The foods of Earth, the cultures of Earth. There was a roller coaster in outer space. I didn't ride it. You know, I didn't even write about it in the book, but I remember that he told me that. So it was a great big party. I hope you come because you can just energetically step to this, party. Yeah. A lot of the first book is focused on helping Earth to balance masculine, feminine energies. Mm-hmm. All right. Second book opens up even more transmissions. I mean, it's just I meet the dragons in the second book. A lot of interaction with fairies and dragons in all the books after the first book. So Gia said, here's what she told me. I took very careful notes, okay? This is a shortened version, so she spoke a little bit more than this. But she said, hold in your hearts and in your minds a vision of ourselves, she meant the Earth, as spring for 1 full minute. Now, I'm not going to do that today because, sitting here for a minute quiet is not good policy. But I'm hoping that people will do this after our interview today. Yep. Hold in your hearts and your minds a vision of Earth as spring for 1 full minute. The little beautiful flowers and the grasses that are beginning to grow are the first reminders to the hearts of individuals that there is a new beginning. Wow. This opens their hearts and gives them hope. That hope is in their hands. All right. They may choose what they wish, and it shall be. That's what I've been saying all along. We get to choose. So if you're focusing on the things that are wrong, you're just feeding that energy. Yeah. Turn off the news, for God's sake. Turn off the news. Don't watch it, Focus on the solutions. Focus on peace. Focus on seeing the waters pristine. Focus on seeing the earth restored. Focus on seeing, animals, even especially on farms, being loved. I grew up on a farm, So she's saying, choose what you wish, and it shall be. How powerful!
Yeah. And it's as simple as remembering that we're the creator, right? Like remembering our power, our capacity, our divine embodiment, and where we came from.
Right, exactly that. So the other important information is about a powwow, and it's posted on my Facebook webpage. It's also on my YouTube, A Vision for Native Americans. I have a lot of connections with Native Americans. As I mentioned in book 6, we returned a lot of the tribes that had either became extinct or had vanished. They came back to help us again. So this powwow is held in locations all over North America. It's in energy spots, sacred spots, all right? Because the elders of the tribes are still here. They, the place that I visit is in North Dakota, inside a hill. It's called Buffalo's Heart, the Buffalo's Heart. And they have a transmission that's going to be, this powwow has daily transmissions to help the star tribes remember their true natures, which is non-dual masters. Remember I talked about that guy that's been here 120,000 years? Yeah. Well, I mean, the Native Americans alive now have not been here that long, but their tribes originally came here that long ago. Most of them do remember that they came from the stars.
So you're saying in North Dakota there's a tribe that does this transmission?
Sacred space. Okay. It's sacred space. It's inside a hill, and of course I can visit it with my energy body. Right. And that's where the elders. That's one of the main locations where the elders are giving me information to send out. But there are other locations all over North America. I mean, I don't know where they all are, but people are going to be able to tune into them and feel the beat of the drums. Helping uplift, helping uplift the indigenous peoples, because, America is not going to be great until we until we right the wrongs that we did. Speaking we is including myself in that, even though I do have some Native American genetics. And that will happen. That's in the future. I'm not going to talk any more about that now, but I've got a lot of really encouraging information about that to lift up, to help these people, and all of us actually remember our true nature, which is love, which is that we're masters. We talked about that at the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tuning in, if you've got a Native American heritage, or if you know of Native Americans, if you want to share that, it's on my blog, Vision for Native Americans. I posted a message about the powwow recently. It's going to last till May 2nd. So every day there's a new transmission sent out.
Wow. That's powerful. So as far as, what we can be doing on a daily basis, it's taking part in these transmissions that are going on. What else can we do to really remember and embody being that master that we are of our reality?
Play, have fun, play.
Yeah, play and have fun. I love it.
Yeah. We came here and we kind of knew how to play when we were little.
Yep.
And then we got so, in the go to the job, earn the bucks, have the family, make a living, survive, watch TV, go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's, if that's where people are, okay. But there's another possibility, do the ideal scenario in the morning when you wake up. Knowing I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have my heart open. I'm going to be open to great new connections. I'm going to enjoy the day no matter what happens. I am that. Look at my YouTubes if you want to, Love and Sex at the Joy Council, or read about the dragons, the Dragon King that was crowned, and the Dragon Prince that was crowned, and just open yourself up to the possibilities. Go outside and connect with the fairies. Fairies, we didn't talk about them. My gosh, they're all over. Everywhere there's greenery, there's fairies. And if you, they don't come into your houses, but if you go outside and just, when it gets nice, lay down in the grass and just listen. They're going to come whisper in your ears. So there's not just one fairy queen. Fairy queens all over the earth. The only place being Antarctica and the Sahara Desert. No fairy gardens. So I asked the fairies, well, what can we do to help you? And the fairy queen from my garden, her name is Chuli, she said, well, if you could just laugh for 5 minutes, I think that's what it is, minutes, 5 minutes a day, it makes everything brighter. So they don't need anything from us. They're here to help us. And Gita told me that without the fairies, Earth would be dead. They support every green thing. All right. So 2 inches tall, and they're about joy. They're about love. They're about laughter. They're about spring now, encouraging the flowers to bloom, encouraging the crops to grow. If the possibility of fairies doesn't speak to your heart, I don't know. maybe you're more into dragons. I don't know. But, think about 4 million dragons flying in formation in the sky when we're in the 8th dimension.
Wow.
Does that give you goosebumps? It does me.
So you said right now that they're flying?
Well, they will. Moonford, the Dragon King, said, when we're in 8th dimension, you'll see us returning. You'll see us in the sky flying. They're not going to be, they're not going to be scorching people. They're not going to be eating anybody. That's 8th dimension. There's no more of that kind of stuff. So, you learn about dragons in the second book. You learn about the history of dragons. We killed them off twice, and working with Gita and the fairies, we were able to bring them back in the second book, a little bit off our dimension so that we didn't kill them again. Wow. So, 6 books, joyelaine.com. You can find them on Amazon, but the easiest way to find them on Amazon is just put my name in, Joy Elaine. On my website takes you directly to Amazon. They're available on Kindle. And if you're not ready to bite the bullet and buy the books, I hope you are, but there's a great information on my blog. So start reading there and then say, hey, I've got to buy these books. They speak to your heart. If they speak to your heart, then buy them.
I love it. What would you say is the biggest thing that's working for you to get this message out there? Like, are you finding people naturally are attracted to you, or is it media that's the biggest thing that's helping you, or are there leaders and partnerships and that kind of strategic alliances that you're creating?
I shared with you that I'm just kind of getting a little bit proficient on Facebook. make myself do it, But
Yeah.
I'm doing expos. I just finished one in Covington, Kentucky,
Hmm.
and I'm doing one. I'm on a waiting list for an expo in Cincinnati. I'm driving to Fargo, North Dakota, because that's the heart of Native American territory up there, doing an expo in end of April. So I've got expos. I'm just thinking about doing some conference calling. I realized that would be a good way to talk about, take people to the Ashtar Command ship, talk about the ideal scenario, talk about, what's happening now. That would be a good way with people scattered so far over the earth,
Hmm.
be a good way to help people that way. So I'm getting good at media. Um, I need to get better. I'm working on it.
You're growing through it, and you show up on here, and you're getting your message out there. And I think it's really cool how you take people to the spaceship, in the middle of the interview, and you take them there, and then have that experience of sending the love back to that past Earth, 2014 Earth, and everyone and ourselves, and that's a really really cool thing, and it's uplifting and empowering. I love the bridge that you were talking about as well at the beginning. Like, that's super powerful. Something that we can always do at any moment. Just close our eyes and imagine, stepping onto a bridge, up, doing whatever, dancing, smiling, singing, having fun, being joyous, rising up to our highest selves, our greatest possible selves.
Right.
Yeah.
There is a world mission on my website. I'm redoing the world missions on my website, so the newest versions are on YouTube.
Okay.
But there is one on my website called Implement World Mission with the Ashtar Command, where you actually get to step aboard. There'll be 3 different time locations in this year, because the command is very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Now that there's a joint council in all the universes, in all 47 universes, they're spread out through all those universes, supporting the worlds who are elevating.
Mm-hmm.
When I wrote the first book, 86 million of them were above Earth. Now there's only about 40 million above Earth on the higher dimensions, and there's triple the number of them, because they've thought more into being, and they're out, with the other universes. So, I mean, the thing about all these other universes is that, I've seen people that have 2 heads. I've seen people that look like, lions, upright lions that are conversing telepathically. I've seen people that have fish tails that are about the size of a kindergartner and are several hundred years old. And the thing is that they all, no matter how different we all look, how different we all are, we're all part of the oneness. I call it the one tribe. We are the oneness, and we are remembering that our true nature, which is particles of light, particles of love. And that is, we look different, but we really, at the heart of us, we are one. If that's the one message that people take away from this, and feel encouraged about it, I hope that they remember that.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love it, Joy. So is there anything else that we didn't cover yet that you just really wanted to touch on, this last minute recap, wrap up, anything else that you want us to know?
Take heart. Whether you believe anything I've said or not, just open your heart up and just be open to the possibilities that some or part or all of it is true. Think about the magical nature of where we are. We've kind of lost that. We just described it as we closed our eyes to the world, and just we see our little tracks, our little steps on a day-to-day basis. We're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Open up to the possibility that there are millions of people supporting us, that are in our corner, that are wanting to uplift us, to help us. Our universe is half non-dual. Worlds like Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, Lyra are non-dual already. And we are on the way. 8 is great.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, Joy, how does our audience stay connected with you? What are their next steps that they can take?
Sign up on my website so you get my newsletter. I send out something about once a month telling you where I'm going to be, what's happening, telling you things about like the powwow, about Vita's message. JoyElaine.com. You can buy my books there. You can read my blog. You can read about the golden ticket and all kinds of the things that we did today. Email me. I'm on email off and on all day long, so I'll answer any questions you have if you want to connect with me through my info@joyelaine.com email or through my website. I'm open. I'm anxious to hear your experiences, and if you want me to come to your city and speak to a group, let me know.
Awesome. I love it. Joy, you are amazing.
Here, I'll travel to speak to them.
That's right. Yes, you will. So, Joy, you're amazing. Anyone who's listening or watching, definitely go check out more about what Joy has, joyelaine.com. Check out her books, read them. If this is inspiring to you, if this ignites your possibility, I know for me, it's like, wow, it's incredible. It's inspiring what's possible and what's going on in our world, in our universe. And Joy, you have I don't want to say like insider information or secret information, but you definitely have a unique perspective to share with people that's bringing more love, more joy, more happiness and upliftment and empowerment. So I really love what you're doing, and I acknowledge you for stepping up and taking it on. I'm sure it hasn't always been easy, but you're really doing your best and getting the message out there, and I acknowledge you for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. I received that, Joy. Thank you for coming on, and I hope you have the best day ever. We'll see you very soon, okay?
All right. Happy spring.
Awesome. Take care.